Whispers in the Moonlight Part 5. The Dark Knight's True Form. Ares could feel his muscles burning, his breath ragged as he analyzed the Dark Knight's attacks. The cursed warrior was overwhelmingly powerful, his sword strikes shaking the very ground beneath them. But there was a flaw. His movements, though devastating, were slow and predictable. Ares had already memorized his patterns. With each clash of their swords, Ares grew more confident. He enchanted his blade with fire magic, the flames licking along the steel as he struck again and again. The Dark Knight grunted, stepping back as Ares' strikes broke through his defenses. Chunks of his cursed armor shattered, falling to the ground like pieces of a broken past. The knight let out a deep, distorted laugh. "Impressive, elf. Few have landed such blows against me." His voice was like a deathly whisper carried by the wind. Ares didn't let up. He spun, dodging a downward slash before driving his burning sword into the knight's chest. Flames erupted upon impact, forcing the Dark Knight to stumble back. His armor cracked further, the dark magic holding it together struggling to sustain itself. The cursed warrior fell to one knee, panting. Then he lifted his head, his glowing eyes locking onto Ares. "You are truly worthy," he said, his voice carrying both amusement and respect. "You should be proud, because now I shall show you my true form." The ground trembled as dark energy surged from the knight's body. Shadows coiled around him, his broken armor dissolving into mist. Ares stepped back, gripping his sword tightly as an overwhelming force filled the battlefield. The Dark Knight let out a guttural roar, and suddenly, his entire form changed. His body expanded, muscles growing stronger, his armor reforming into something even darker, even more terrifying. His eyes glowed a deep crimson, like burning embers in the night. Flames erupted from his mouth with each breath he took. His presence alone made the air heavy, suffocating. Then, an explosion of dark energy burst from his body, sending slicing waves of force in all directions. Ares barely had time to react. He leapt back, avoiding the brunt of the attack, but he felt the sharp wind graze past him. A strand of silver hair floated down in front of his eyes. His heart pounded. If he had been even a fraction of a second slower, his head would have been cleaved in two. The Dark Knight, now in his monstrous form, grinned. His sharp teeth glowed with the embers of the fire that dripped from his mouth. He spread his arms wide, his voice echoing through the battlefield like a death sentence. "You now stand witness to the true darkness," he declared, his voice filled with malice. "And now, suffer." To be continued.